Hello and welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you are new. Today I'm going to be starting to do a few recipes that I've been inspired to do on my channel with poor man's meals or Great Depression cooking. I asked in my community tab what you guys would like to see, and with inflation and prices and all that's happening in the world, a lot of you want to see poor man's meals or recipes that were cooked during the Great Depression. So today I'm going to be sharing a poor man's meal, a Great Depression recipe that is actually called the poor man's dinner. And as I was doing my research, I found this, first of all, from a sweet, beautiful lady on YouTube named Clara.
Welcome to my kitchen. I'm Clara. I'm 91 years old. Today we are making meals from the Depression.
I will leave her channel linked in the description box below, but she shared meals that she actually helped her parents cook during the Great Depression, and this was one of the most popular ones. So today I'm going to be cooking this poor man's dinner. I'm going to be cooking it with Clara's recipe in mind, and then we're going to taste it and we're going to see, is it enough food to fill us up, and how delicious is it? So let's get in the kitchen. So for this poor man's dinner recipe, the recipes that I found called for an onion, so I'm going to get that chopped up. It called for 1 potato per person. I tried to find the four biggest in my 5-pound bag. So I've got russet potatoes here, 1 per person, and 1 hot dog per person. I actually have 5 hot dogs here because that's what I had left, so I'm going to go ahead and use that extra hot dog. Don't come at me for that. Use what you want. I mean, this recipe is customizable for you and your family, but this is a very minimal cost ingredients. In fact, I didn't have to go to the store for any of this. I have all of this already in my house. So if you keep a good stock of staples in your pantry, in your fridge and freezer, a lot of these meals that they made in the Great Depression, you can make just from the things that you have on hand. So let's get started peeling these potatoes. One thing that Clara said is that during the Great Depression, her father would buy big, huge sacks of potatoes, and they used potatoes in almost every meal because they were cheap, they were filling, and they could really stretch a meal. So one recipe that I found very interesting that I'm probably going to share in the future is a pasta recipe where they actually added a potato in just to stretch the pasta dish further. But what my plan is for the next few weeks on Thursdays to share a Great Depression recipe. So come back every Thursday and check out what new Great Depression recipe I'm going to be sharing next. Now I'm going to take my potatoes and onions and I'm going to put that into a skillet. I have put a little olive oil in my skillet. I'm going to add the potatoes and onions and get those to start browning up or frying up, sauteing. I am going to be seasoning these potatoes and onions with only salt and pepper. So I am going to be adding in a couple good pinches of salt and a good pinch of pepper. I'm then going to give this a good stir just to combine, and then I'm going to let these fry up for about 5 minutes to get a good start on the saute. And then I'm actually going to be adding in like 1/2 cup of water just to help cook those potatoes through. The steam from the water will help to cook the potatoes, and then they will be nice and fork tender, and we will be ready to add in the hot dogs. Once the potatoes are fork tender, I'm then going to add in my hot dogs. I've just cut up my hot dogs into small pieces. I'm going to let this cook for about another 5 to 8 minutes, just until those hot dogs are cooked through. Okay, so Clara's recipe calls for adding tomato sauce to it, like a couple tablespoons once it's finished cooking. But I did see a southern recipe where they just ate it without adding any tomato sauce. So I think that Clara's family was like Italian, but I wanted to taste it. So I've got a little bit here that's just the hot dogs, potatoes, and onions with the salt and pepper without the tomato sauce. So I was wanting to taste it first before I decide to put any tomato sauce in it, because that would save you a little bit of money. So here I've got a little bit of the hot dog, the potatoes, some onion. It's good just like that. It really is. I don't know. I think I'm going to try a little bit of tomato sauce, and we'll see which I like better. And whichever I like better, that's what we're going to do to that pan. I decided to go ahead and put in some tomato sauce, but I have this tube of tomato paste in my fridge I needed to use up, so I put that in, and then I'm going to give this a stir. I just really wanted to kind of stick to Clara's recipe, so I'm going to add the tomato product. I'm going to get it stirred, and then we're going to taste. All right, so I tasted it with a little bit of tomato paste that I had in my fridge. I didn't want to open a whole can of tomato sauce and all that to taste it, and it definitely added a different flavor. So it's really just whatever your preference is. You don't have to add the tomato sauce. I ended up adding in a couple squirts of tomato paste. In Clara's video, she actually used a couple tablespoons of actual pasta sauce, so that would have a lot more flavor. But this is just depending on your budget, what you can afford. You can make this meal as much or as little as you want it to be. You can bulk it up with potatoes and more hot dogs. That's all up to you. But here we go. Here is my poor man's dinner with a little bit of tomato paste in it. I'm going to take a taste test, and I'm going to tell you what it's like here. So, here we go. It's good. I think that it was definitely feeling all the potatoes. It's definitely got some flavor. I think this would be a great meal to feed your family, with or without the tomato product. I think I liked it better without. It's good though. Very filling. I definitely think that this is enough to feed my family of 4. It's very affordable. I didn't go buy any of these products. I had it all just in my house already, and I think it's really good. So you definitely need to try this, a poor man's dinner. It's really good. You can tweak it however you want. You can add more potatoes, more hot dogs, whatever you have on hand. This was really good. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, and come back next week for another Great Depression recipe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.